Well, joining me now is the media department head of the Congress party, also someone who says he belongs to a family of Kisan, Mr. Randeep Surjewala. Thank you very much, Randeep, for speaking to CNN News 18. My first question, because you know, the Congress party has been accused of double speak and you know the grounds on. But to my mind immediately comes your last manifesto for the Lok Sabha elections. You did ask for a modification of the APMCs. You did speak about an agricultural reforms, and I'm presuming the Gandhis gave the approval to this manifesto. So why now?
Let me begin by saying that for last 20 days, lakhs of farmers are sitting all around Delhi. 20 farmers have died. What kind of an inconsiderate and obdurate Modi government is this? What is this arrogance of power that has gone to the head of the Prime Minister, the Agriculture Minister and the ministers of this government? Why are they so insensitive that they refuse to even have a conversation?
But they are having a conversation. They've been 6 rounds of talks. But they've been 6 rounds of talks.
Can I say one thing, Pallavi ji?
Sure.
You have one-sided communication. Mr. Narendra Tomar, the Union Agriculture Minister, does not cultivate any land, does not own an inch of land. Look at his affidavit. Piyush Goyal ji has never cultivated an acre of land. They are giving gyan on agriculture and agricultural reforms to the Farmers Union, who day in, day out toil and sweat, and who are the andatas of the country. And as for Congress party and its manifesto, may I point out to clause 11 of the part 7 that you read, and please read. Nobody is saying that the mandis do not have to become better. They have to become better. What Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Congress party said was, we will have farmer markets, and currently the area of the Anaj Mandi or the grain market is 30 square kilometer, 40 or 50 square kilometer. We want to reduce it to a cluster of 15 villages. So instead of 42,000 grain markets in India, we want to have 200,000 grain markets, unlike Prime Minister Modi and his government, who want to finish grain markets altogether. Let me ask you a simple question as a farmer, as a citizen, and as a Congress person, and place it before your viewers. If there are no grain markets, if there is, consequently, there will be no MSP. Delhi can decide an MSP, but who will give me that MSP? How will I get that MSP? And where will I get that MSP? These are 3 relevant questions that Prime Minister and Agriculture Minister refuse to answer.
Randeep, you know, for many, Congress epitomizes reforms, liberalization. And I'm not talking only of UPA 1 and UPA 2, but the Rajiv Gandhi era, the one who brought in computerization in our country. And also you have someone like a PV Narasimha Rao, Dr. Manmohan Singh as a Prime Minister, Mr. Chidambaram. All of them are seen as symbols of reforms, of, you know, getting your private sector in. Today, you're looking like a party which is ultra-left or very left-leaning, textbookish, and against a private sector getting into an agricultural reform, even if it's good for the farmers.
Pallavi ji, that is the myth and the falsehood being perpetuated by the government, of which, if I may respectfully say, even television anchors are falling prey to. Let me tell you, as a farmer, reforms by annihilating 62 crore andatas cannot be permitted. And who is saying private sector cannot come today? That's the myth. Private sector can come even today and buy farmers' produce from grain markets. When I go and sell wheat in the market, it's not FCI or Food and Civil Supplies alone, but the flour mill which sells you atta. They also, private players, come and buy along with the government. Sometimes I get a better price than MSP also. The rice exporter, the rice bran oil manufacturers, the rice shell owners, they come and buy farmers' rice in the grain market. And even today, I can sell my crop anywhere in the country. So both these are falsehood being perpetuated by ministers who have never tilled land. They do not understand the problems of tillers of the land.
That you are not against say a private sector also existing collaterally with, say, the MSP regime or, you know, the APMCs? That's not what you're against?
Absolutely. Let me reiterate. Let all industrialists come in and buy farmers' produce at MSP in the grain market. What is the problem? Even today they are doing it. You think they are not today buying? Where are they buying atta from? All the atta companies that are selling atta to you, where are they buying it from? They're going to the grain market. They're buying it at MSP. More private players come in, the better.
Why I'm going back this to you repeatedly, because you're making that clarification today on CNN News 18 that you're not against a privatization. But I would always judge, and I'm sure you as a politician would always judge, that a litmus test of any policy or a stand taken by a political party are elections. Now, if you look at your local elections, which is something being also flaunted by the BJPs, whether it was in the Rajasthan local elections or the smaller municipal corporate elections, even in Hyderabad, if the BJP is improving its tally and the Congress is not able to do its tally, and many of them are farm or agrarian based areas, something that you're saying and doing is wrong. Because at the end of the day, industries are giving you employment. And if you look at turning your back to industries and constantly criticize them, you know, you are actually cutting the nose or cutting the mouth, which also feeds so many people. Don't they have to coexist?
Pallavi ji, I think let's understand there are two facets to what you are saying. And I don't think so there is a disagreement on it. The first facet is, if a local election has been won by a particular political party, does it give you a license to kill the Annadata? May I point out to you today, the maize or makka as we call it, is 1850 rupees quintal of MSP. But if you today go and check with the Bihar farmers who's feeling cheated, he's getting 750 rupees a quintal. The rest is going to the pocket of certain traders who are buying cheap and selling more expensive to you and me. Farmer, for example, gets 19 rupees a kg for his wheat. And you are buying atta at 30 or 40 rupees and 70 rupees or 60 rupees of branded atta. If the grain markets go away, then 2 or 3 people will come in and they will sell your consumers atta at 120 or 150 rupees a kg. So it's not a fight of 62 crore farmers. It's not a Congress versus BJP fight. It's not a farmer versus Modi government fight. It's a fight for survival of this country. And if there will be no grain market, if there will be no government procurement, then who will supply food at 2 rupees a kg, food grain, wheat, rice, etc. at 2 rupees a kg on the PDS, that is the ration shop. The ration shop will die. SC, BC, who currently get cheap food grains, where will they get food grains from? And what will happen to the ordinary consumer who buys from me at 19 rupees and you get it at least at 25, 30 rupees after processing? You will get it at 150 rupees. May I give you one small example? Yes. I'm taking 5 seconds more. I'm sure you buy tomatoes, potatoes, onions. Which farmer gets more than 8 to 10 rupees a kg for it? You get it at 40 rupees. Once the vegetable markets go, you will get it at 80 or 100 rupees. That's the protection we are fighting against.
You know, Randeep, do you get a sense, because I know the Congress party is standing by and supporting the farmers' protest, but do you get a sense that at some places is actually going out of hand, it's being overtaken? And I'm giving a quick example. I want a response from you on this, because the Congress party till now has not condemned it. In America, for example, you saw the vandalization of the Gandhiji statue, and all in the names of opposing the farm bills. Can the Congress party keep silent on this? Are you worried that some of the farm protests may actually go out of control and therefore the farmers also need to be cautioned?
See, this government has a classical habit.
No, ye to humne visuals dekhe hai na, Randeep. We've seen the pictures in America. So let's,
Yes. I'm coming to you. Are some lumpen elements doing something obnoxious, illegal and violating the law in America a justification for denying livelihood to 62 crore farmers of India?
No,
I'm
but
sure
do you
don't mean
condemn what happened in America?
I'm sure it's some lumpen elements. Okay. Absolutely. Okay, let the law take its own course and then be sent to jail. Some lumpen elements in a procession of 40 kilometers, 50 people come and sit and demand release of some ex-fellow. Should the farmers' agitation and their main demand should be annihilated?
Okay.
This is an insult of the farmer, of the Annadata. And BJP should make up their mind, what do they want to call the farmer? Manohar Lal Khattar calls them Khalistanis. JP Dalal, Agriculture Minister of Haryana, calls them Pakistani and Chinese agents. Piyush Goyal calls them ultra-left. What is this nonsense happening?
Okay.
Their only demand is withdraw the 3 black laws. Mr. Modi passed these laws through an ordinance in the middle of the night, in the push through in the parliament with a voice vote. Why is it that nobody has been consulted and livelihood of 62 crore people being snatched?
Okay, fair enough. That's a fair point you've made, Randeep. Only thing is there's no winter session of parliament. Thank you very much for speaking to CNN News 18. Over to you, Anand.
Thank you.